I would say yes. Read and agree to server rules. No flaming, badgering, trolling. I don't think this is a problem in the Viscous community. I don't think it is. Bottom line, be nice. Yeah, makes sense to me. Squid tag? That's interesting. Gaming.
About it. So I have no idea what I'm doing to escape.
Yeah, no, I agree.
At least for now, until I get the...
This is Lhzz, the rank 1 Viscous player. And right below him is me, I'm Bullet. And you just saw me join the Deadlock Community Discord server for Viscous. And I'm here to watch a group session held in the server where Lhzz teaches Viscous. The content turned out to be so helpful that I decided to make this video on it. But before we get into that, I have to tell you, do not use any of the top daily Viscous builds. All of them either suck or are outdated. This splatter support build is the best way to play Viscous right now. These builds are also good if you want some variety.
There's some basic concepts about Viscous which are very simple, which are the how Puddle Punch works and how Cube works for movement, which have their own small things. Puddle Punch, for example, obviously the ability displaces you in whatever direction, displaces enemies. It's a very simplistic ability, but in terms of like how the ability actually functions, it literally just adds momentum in whatever direction you're moving or whatever direction it hits you in. So let's say even if you're deciding, oh, you want to dash forward into a Puddle Punch, it's just going to give you momentum in the upwards direction because that's the way the Puddle Punch is hitting you from. Okay. But if you instead say, well, what if the Puddle Punch hits you in the same direction as the way you're already going? It amplifies your movement. But the more niche movement is knowing where you can use Puddle Punch and how, because there's multiple ways to use Puddle Punch. My favorite method, which obviously there's the dash jump, which once again, weird geometry of the game. Like, why does this have geometry? So this is a great example of this spot here. Let's say, oh, you double jump. Okay, you got more height. Let's say instead it's a dash jump, assuming I don't hit a wall. Same spot basically. Let's say instead you input a dash jump, which you can do now, with the Puddle Punch being more delayed. Okay. And then my personal most used one is wall bounce.
Wait, that makes so much sense because like sometimes when I want to Puddle Punch to escape, there's like a railing and I just fucking hit my head on the railing. This is actually more consistent because you can like go over the railing or something.
Yep. And then the final method being if you have a bound button for instant air dashing, which I do, you can instant air dash out of a Puddle Punch and just slide.
For the wall jump thing, do you have to dash at all, or is it just wall jump?
It's literally just you place Puddle Punch down and you wall jump, and that's it. Which is just like the very basics of Puddle Punch. And there's some mix up to it as well. One of the best spots in the game is knowing how to go across blue, all the way down blue lane from one walker to the other. Say you're split pushing or whatever, and you're getting your walker, and it's like, oh, I have no wave right now. There's 3 people running at me full speed. How do you get back to your walker without, needing anything on Viscous? The obvious answer is use ball. You hold down ball, whatever, you run. That's the simple answer. The more complicated answer is you combine ball with Puddle Punch.
What the hell?
To go faster. Or, let's say, oh, missed that. Let's say, on a more basic note, you don't have ball, because ball is very good for killing objectives. Let's say you don't have ball.
Okay, so just combine dash with the punch to get out. Okay.
Yeah. And then one of the most important aspects of Viscous, which is really, really underused and people don't really understand how it works, is cube on slopes has some very strange mechanics. So I'm sure everybody's seen Viscous. press cube on a slope and go down a slope.
Yeah.
Would you like to know that this game is very badly coded? The last slope that you were on is the only thing that matters. So if I'm up here, it still thinks I'm on that slope right now.
What?
Because that was
makes
the last
so
thing
much
I was
sense.
touching.
Oh my gosh. Viscous
What
solved.
the heck?
So it means the thing where you see Viscous, where they're flying
Yo,
across
I'm
the entire
actually
map
glad I joined this.
really quickly.
I had no
Like, this
idea
is a
how
great
that worked.
spot for it on this bridge. These little slimps here, this is a slope. This outside part is an actual slope.
Oh my
from
gosh.
like the old geometry. So when you puddle punch here and you use a cube, you can go flying, especially if you are able to combine a like double jump and a dash at the right time.
Oh, you don't have confirmed cast on your punch. I just realized. Or is it instant cast for you?
Yeah, I have instant cast.
Do you also use instant cast bullet? Actually, I don't remember.
I use
It's most
instant cast.
people.
Headshot
I
or
think
doesn't
it's
I
use
should
instant
probably
cast,
use-
but-
I should-
But I would
So,
use
like-
quick cast personally.
just to
if you're
learn
learning.
it. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
have no idea what I'm doing right now.
One of the
No,
most
but
famous
there are top Viscous players that
techs.
don't. But yeah.
There are several that don't use it. I just use it because I am used to punches at this point. One of the most famous things to do with Viscous is the notorious across the entire map with Majestic Leap rotate,
Oh.
which has its own type of thing. It's extremely simple. It uses the same concept. If I don't
Oh,
pick
so
it
you
up.
have to be on the stairs with the slope.
Oh my, what the fuck?
Okay, because
It's
he's on the
extremely-
slope, he
extremely
gets the
easy
momentum
concept.
with the cube.
But it's the same same concept as before. You're on a
You
slope.
just punch
the
on
slope
a slope
continues.
and you go further.
You punch yourself as well in the Majestic Leap, and basically you're just multiplying all your movement to go as far as you possibly can with only one input. And the simplest version of this, which one of my personal favorites and is now relevant because of Earn, or was relevant till they gave everybody mock speed with Earn, was if Earn is over here. One of my favorite rollouts is being able to go to these vents, which vents also apply to the same scenario, where you can send your self all the way across and use cube
Oh my god.
to repel yourself to the Earn Depot. Now, obviously, you know, Earn, they have now given you Mach 10. You know, it's now less fast. When Earn was less fast, it was very impactful. Now, this is also a big thing as well, is how, as I mentioned, the very simple concept of Puddle Punch just adds movement in whatever direction you're already moving. The same thing applies for vents, because these are also just a single instance of movement. It's the same thing as hitting a wall jump right after you hit a vent. It's the same concept, but just with Puddle Punch. This vent is by far the easiest vent to use it on. You put it on the wall, you walk into the vent, you go flying. It's as simple as that. There's a few vents in the game that that you could still do it on, but it has very particular positioning, or it's just not useful. So like this vent, for example, very particular angle, you have to, so once again, very weird geometry of the game. You have to place it on like the inside and then step perfectly at the right timing to make it work. This roof, for example, you do the same thing. Oh, you hit the wall. So instead you have to use the one up here.
I see.
It's basically just every vent in the game, or most vents in the game, ignoring a few that have particular scenarios, can be used the same concept as just doing a normal Puddle Punch. So like this is another one that's not really useful. You know, why would you want to go into that wall? You probably don't. There's no reason to.
Can you puddle punch on most of
what's
those
the
little
point?
like ledges everywhere?
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to escape, like all those tiny
Yes,
little
so,
like geometries.
there's
That's what I
weird
see
things
Viscous
about
players
it.
do. Yeah, I'm like, wow, I don't know how to get out.
These like particular fences have very particular geometry. So like the actual holes of these count as their own, like they actually are empty nev mesh. So you can place Puddle Punches inside of the holes or like on corners. But then you have other things in the game that are the exact polar opposite and have no rhyme or reason to why they don't work. Like one of my absolute favorites is if you try and Puddle Punch here Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think the other side's worse. Correctly. There's a couple of spots. This is one of my least favorite ones. Nope, this side. As you'll see, it just doesn't hit me.
What the heck?
When it very clearly should hit me.
Does it hit you with grid or
there's
expansion?
also no, it just misses. So there's the weird thing of Puddle Punch that for some reason for Puddle Punch to hit, there's some like inner thing that's done that says, okay, this is the center point of Puddle Punch. It's checking to see, do you have line of sight to that? And there's some very weird like spots where you can Puddle Punch from and see, and then it just suddenly you can't anymore, and it causes issues like that. But honestly, it's not that important. There's not that many spots that are important that have to deal with it. And if you find one, it'll be a learning experience.
There's one in the
You'll
secret
die,
shops.
and then you'll be like, okay, I know where it is now.
And I use it so many times,
It's
and I'm
kind of
like,
just
bro.
time. You'll screw up, and then you'll be like, oh, that really sucks. And then you'll remember it and never do it again. The other thing is too is combining everything together is obviously important, and I've shown you the vents, which are like, you know, the vents are never going to change, and you just place a Puddle Punch in the same spot every time, and it always works. And there's not like, it's just one thing you practice. It's whatever.
Okay.
May I ask,
So I can turn my
how did all of this begin? In a sense, why the gathering in the VC start all of a sudden?
oh, in here.
Yeah.
This guy's not
we
in this
had
team.
it's the grouping of a few high rank Viscous players winning the Viscous
Yeah.
movement. That's, or at least know the depths of it.
Yeah, no, I actually already learned a few things. Let me set the record straight. This all started on my stream, ttv/I'mBullet, that's 5 T's, when I was talking to Lhzz in my chat about Viscous, and I ended up playing Lhzz's splatter build. That's when Yuki, lady guy's count on Zipline is Yuki, by the way, but Yuki, who is brand new to Viscous, was asking some questions, and Lhzz offered to explain via Discord, and I said that I'd also like to attend. And now we're here.
One of my personal favorites that literally no one uses, and I'm like fairly certain that I invented it, and don't know why nobody else uses it, is the using of zipline, or like the zipline dash mechanic where you have less air strafe. Using that alongside a Puddle Punch, which is very like basically no one uses this. The concept is to find a spot on the zipline that you're able to Puddle Punch yourself to make your return back to lane faster by using only one cooldown. And I've tested, and
the
like
airstrike-
that route, for example, is so
It
I
gives you
don't.
more
This is
slice control.
people don't talk about this because it's a pretty basic mechanic. If you just get off the zipline by pressing space again, you do not get the like air. There's like a
You
kind of a
keep your
thing that
momentum.
prevents you from getting a certain velocity. It's in the game as a feature to prevent you from getting too much velocity out of a zipline. But when you crouch off of a zipline instead of jumping off a zipline, you skip that basically check for a couple of seconds before the game says, well, you need to slow down. So combining that concept with a dash, and then obviously also a Puddle Punch, which just multiplies your movement, you can get some really good movement out of it. And it's extremely useful. So let's even say I'm coming down green lane, whatever, and I'm like, okay, oh, my team has now rotated from green lane to go somewhere else. Well, you know Viscous movement, so you can utilize your Viscous movement to redirect where you're going to go to like your next point, wherever you need to go. So to this vent, for example. One of my personal favorites is off of blue lane, which I've used this quite a bit. Let's say you're coming in on blue and you're like, oh, I need to go to yellow
Viscous
now.
tech, yo.
And you're able to get to this vent. Or even on blue lane. So let's say your blue lane is like one of the least good examples, because you know, most people know about You can just go
I don't
around
even
this, and
think like
it's
Tanner
faster
or
than
like
taking the
some
zip
night
line.
shift Viscouses know
But
this.
let's say your team's
Like,
fighting
Gibbs
on the
does not
walker
know
over
this.
here,
There's no
and
way.
it's just actively slower to take the zip line.
Goober might know. I don't
And
know.
you hit a puddle punch on that wall, which it's kind of.
I
the zip
actually
lines with the
think like
Guardian
this
is a
is
little
like
bit worse.
revolutionary tech. I think Lhzz might
Oh
be
yeah,
Also,
doing
that
these-
makes
this.
sense.
These windows have hitboxes to them for some reason. You can get to this much faster than you would be able to just riding the zipline. Now, obviously, this isn't faster than speed boosting. So if you have speed boosting, then it doesn't matter. But it's just a cool just like a little gimmick. Or like, let's say even one of my personal favorites is you're coming out of base. You just got your base dropped. All of the minions are pushed up here. The enemy team's going to mid, and you hit this out this side, and are able to hit yourself to get to this like area faster. This is also a great one for going to like green lane as well. So you're able to hit out and then punch yourself, which once again, very specific geometry for no apparent reason. I very desperately hope the devs change that when the game comes out. The reason why Rem and Viscous are considered support characters is purely just because of the fact that like they're able to have a lot of variancy in their build without ruining how they work as a character. So like when a
That makes
doorman
sense to me.
says your team says, "Oh, we need you to build a divine barrier," that's like gonna significantly hurt the build. But for Viscous, it's like you can literally play Viscous with max splatter, max cube, and your only items that you need to make this character function as a support hero by default are literally rescue beam and tank buster. And like maybe greater expansion. These three items make up the entire list of what Viscous needs as a character to function, which leaves you able to buy any of the support items you need for your team. Decay, Disarming X, Knockdown, Divine Barrier, Curse, Scourge, Focus Lens, whatever it may be. You become the character designed to do that in coordinated play, just because of that.
Counterbuying is good in coordinated play, but most of the time in matchmaking you want to buy more damage to carry your Archon teammates. The rest of the build conversation narrows down to this. Splatter support build is the best at slotting in counterbuy items, while also doing great damage with Splatter, and having saves with max cube, which is also why it's considered the best Viscous build right now. Maroon Viscous is a lot harder to use than Splatter support, but is the best way to carry your team on Viscous, and is even better when your team needs more gun damage. As for Ball build, Lhzz made a good point that Ball is too expensive to get online, and is also really hard to effectively use, so it's the worst of the three. But this conversation did lead to some discussion on how to use Ball effectively, so here it is.
When people watch, I'm gonna talk about this for Lady Geist, just in case you ever feel like you want to dribble for any reason. The concept of dribbling is a little weird. There's a few tutorials on it. The most recent one is like,
Yeah, the
I think
Goober
Goober has
tutorial.
one. The video literally has loud playing music the entire time, and you can barely hear what he's saying. So I'm just gonna cover it again because I don't know why that's how he recorded it, but it was.
Yeah.
Ball has the really weird. It works kind of like IVL, which I'm sure you've used Ball. It's a relatively simple ability, but the most common trap of Ball is you get stuck in some random shit and you don't know how to get out. And most people's first reaction is, I'm just have no clue what's going on. I'm just gonna let it go and hope it gets out by itself, or I'm just gonna cancel the ult, which are both like complete.
You just
like
hold
most people
W
would
in
be
the
like,
direction
"Oh,
you
I'm
want to
playing
go.
Ball," and then they'll hit off this wall and then go flying off in a Narnia and try and correct themselves and not know how to fix the problem, as like part of the thing. So Ball as a thing is like you always want to be trying to find whatever your nearest thing is to bounce off of to be able to go back in, and like continue going back in on somebody. You want to always pick those close walls.
It is like a mini game.
And if you get stuck in
Yeah.
between two walls, you hold W in the direction you want to go.
Yes, that too. So if you
When I
ever
just give up. Okay.
one of the favorite experiences is like let's say you're down here and you follow somebody into like a corridor like this, and you're stuck balling like this back and forth. You can break out of it very easily. Like this kind of, you get stuck. Hold on, it's hard to even get stuck. to be honest. If you get stuck like this and you're like
By
trying to get out, you
expansion.
just hold
Huh.
W and you can get out.
Hold W.
Expansion
what does that
expansion
mean?
doesn't make your hitbox bigger.
Hold W in terms of like.
You just
towards the
hold
door?
W. You just hold W towards the direction you want to go, and it'll go that
Okay.
way. Ball is one of those weird things that it has a lot of strange text to it. One that I learned, so simply as a quick thing, which I don't know if you've ever seen. I know Headshotter probably has, but I don't know if you have. I'm Bullet. Ball as a mechanic, for some reason when you pop cube and ball, it just switches your direction.
Yeah, I did know about that.
What?
So when you pop ball, you will basically 100% of the time
So,
end up going in the opposite direction.
At first, I thought it was really freaking annoying, and I hated that it worked like that. But
Yes,
it's actually
but it is
CompuTech.
extremely useful.
Emergency
So
brake.
let's say you're fighting somebody on the bridge right now, and you're flying up to them, and you're like, oh, I need to go back to them right now.
Yeah.
You can abuse that as like a saving grace to send you back for one attempt to hit somebody again.
Do you know how to
Um,
not do that? I asked Goober
I
and he
do.
said there was some really weird way.
So this is what I was gonna mention. So there's that, and recently someone told me that there is a way to do it. It is really stupid. It does not make any sense. I don't know why this happens, but if you ball, you cube, and you down dash while doing it, it will not do it.
Wait,
Bruh.
if you ball and you down dash, then cube, it won't do it?
So if you ball, cube, and down dash in cube, it will not make you turn around.
But while down dash.
So if you just like quickly do it, it doesn't
I see.
stall your movement. It's really stupid. It doesn't make any
Wait,
sense, but you
but-
can do it.
But then why do you even cube? Because you have to cancel the cube so fast.
Well, if you cube like this, and then let's say like, because one of the common scenarios I've had is like,
You're like
One of the
running
cool
away
thing-
with
one of the
ball
cool
and
things
you
about
need
this
cube
too-
to cleanse something too.
yeah, that too.
Oh, that's true.
One of the fun things about ball is if you're, let's say somebody's chasing you here, you have like 100 HP. If you ball and then hit yourself and then cube, it'll just keep rolling in that direction. It'll just keep going. And then once ball ends, you'll just keep going in the forward direction. It's
Wait,
only if you
wait.
only if you cancel ball early that it actually turns you around. If you just let ball go, like if you just let cube go and you just keep rolling and you get to the end of it, you'll just keep going forward.
Oh. Okay. So if you let the cube duration run out, then it'll just let you keep
So
going.
if you cancel it, it'll do this weird turn back.
I see.
If you go forward and ball and you cube yourself and you down dash, you'll keep going forward. And if you let cube
Yeah.
run
if you let
out,
the bar run out. Yeah.
I mean, maybe,
then you'll keep going forward.
I think I realize what the reason is because cube is considered a wall, right? And considering that
yeah.
all bounces off of walls, the cube ending has like the wall doesn't disappear immediately as soon as you finish the cube. So there is still that collision of the quote-unquote wall, and you bounce off of it. But if you down dash, you give yourself a little bit more time by angling the velocity differently, and while you're down dashing, you actually have the chance to escape that.
Yes, which is
disappearing
that is
collision.
probably the actual what happens in the background.
Another thing with the ball cancellation, I remember that there was something with the cube that if you puddle punched and then stop the cube while in ball, you could also like continue going forward, and that was the go-to before the down dash was discovered.
Yeah, that's the hold on. It's really weird to input, but you can
Hello, Tired. Right now we're getting coached by Lhzz on how to actually do viscous movement and stuff.
it's
And
point
I
is
am
that,
actually learning a lot
Ball
of
has
things.
these weird niche things that are about them. These are some basics of just using ball in general and not even particularly dribbling, which does have its own like set of conditions for how dribbling works. So
Like I've learned at least 3
most people
tricks
see a viscous
that are
dribble
really
for the
good.
first time and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I just jump up and I go down and there we go, I've dribbled. Ball has some weird stuff on how it's controlled and when down dashing happens. It all has to do with how much air control you have when you're in ball. So, weird thing about the game, when you jump normally, you actually have less control than if you're double jumping. So, when you're dribbling, if you just jump once, it's much harder to dribble with ball if you only jump once. And the timing is much harder. when you're double jumping, you get much more space and time to be able to down dash.
Oh, I think that was my
and
problem.
have this like dribbling to it. When you're doing dribbling efficiently, you're basically rolling up, stopping all your momentum on a point, and you're playing around whatever direction the arrow is going, and you're inputting while you're in the sky. You're inputting the opposite direction to the arrow. So whatever is the arrow is pointing, you're inputting the opposite keys basically, while also double jumping and down dashing in like a rhythm.
Do you need max ball to dribble?
Yes.
So yes, you do, and you can't infinite dribble anymore.
I see.
You
Oh,
can
'cause
have
they
every
reduce it
you
every
can have
time,
every
right?
duration item in the entire game, and the maximum dribbles you can have is 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's with no debuff resist.
Dribble is really complex and not that useful since you can't perma-stun people anymore. So I'm going to move on. If you want to know more, you can watch Goober's dribbling guide. Be warned that it's outdated. You can't perma-stun people anymore, so it's not nearly as useful as Goober is talking about in his video. The loud playing music isn't that bad, so it's fine to learn dribble if you want.
How often do you use like the go fast shit? Because I know in Talon, like going fast is kind of a bait sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
so it's the
often do you
same
go fast if you're trying to hit
concept.
people?
It's weird. So go fast is extremely useful, but most of the time the answer is you don't.
Yeah.
Even when like dribbling, you're not ever holding. Whenever you're dribbling, you're not holding go fast. When you're doing normal, like let's say you're doing normal movement on somebody and you're going back and forth and whatever, it's usually not good to hold go fast. It's the answer is not like a clear cut answer of hold it or don't hold it. It's like the same as like Ivy Flight or like Greytown Bird. You want to, whenever somebody's far away from you, press the go fast button. When they're not far away from you, don't press it.
Okay. So like say when you're stuck, you don't want to hold go fast. Because like when you're
Yeah.
saying just
Well,
hold W to get out, am I
that's the
going
weird
fast
thing.
or no?
So yes, you are going fast in that scenario.
Okay, you can
because
go fast when you're stuck. Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
the rate at which you were able to unstick yourself is based on how fast you move in that like direction that you're not bouncing from. So
Yeah, that's
holding
what I
go
was gonna
fast
say,
will
Ty.
increase how fast you get out of the scenario.
Okay, gotcha.
But it is semi-dependent because I have definitely had moments where I'm burgering out trying to hit somebody because like I remember I actually watched you do it. One of these previous, it was at that Calico that was over, where was it? Here. Where you had a Calico in this corner. Like right there, and you come down this hallway and you miss the Calico here and you're holding go fast and you like can't like get into this corner because you're holding go fast the whole time.
Wait,
But then it's like,
you were
okay,
watching
let's not
Geist,
hold
or
go
was that
fast
was
for a
earlier
second.
in my game?
This was earlier, I bullet, yeah, for you.
Oh, okay.
You were trying to hit a Calico
I wasn't
that
holding
was in
go
this
fast.
corner. My point is that though, like if you
Oh,
were,
if I was, it
it's
would have
like
been fried.
literally makes it impossible. Like you like cannot get into this corner when you're
Oh my
holding
God.
go fast. Because
Yeah.
of how ball works. Whereas like if you're not holding it, you have like much more
Oh, I
control
see,
over
yeah.
where you're going comparatively.
Yeah.
Not that it's always like important. Like let's say you're coming down this hallway, you get this hit here, and you're like, oh, there's another person down this hallway. Now you can go fast.
Yeah. Or you're running for your life and you're gonna die and you have to get out.
Yeah. You also, it's also a thing of your turn radius is much better when you're not holding go fast. So that's like the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
It all
If you
sounds
want
like Talon Bird in a way.
control, be slow. If you want to
Yeah.
speed away, go fast. Or like catch up to someone, go fast.
I literally, if you gave me a build, I would probably build the same build left to right for 10 games in a row. I mean, it's not like I don't counter buy in Viscous, and you
I
shouldn't
agree.
have, and you shouldn't have to. If you have a good build on Viscous, you shouldn't ever have to counter buy, because most of the things that can kill you on Viscous or you can lose against are just because you're bad at Viscous movement. That's like
Okay.
literally the
Yeah, that's
entire
so true.
condition.
I got the same shit on Bebop, same exact build every game.
It's just it's literally just a concept of like you need to know every interaction. Like even when I was watching you earlier, Bullet, it's things like Cube is a weird ability, which once again I didn't talk about Cube at all. Cube has
Yeah.
a unique interaction with every alt in the entire game on how it functions. there's some really weird shit with how it works. If you cube a 7 while he's ulting, that 7 will now drop to the floor like an anvil, and his ult will not work anymore, and he can't cancel cube without canceling his ultimate. If you cube a Calico when she ults, she'll just be in ult as a cube. I mean, it's not.
But
like,
if you
it doesn't
cube
stop her.
Mina,
But if you cube a Mina while
you
she's
might get some
ulting,
slurs.
that Mina is dropping to the floor like an anvil, and her ult is now useless. I know this was supposed to be a movement tutorial. You got more than that. There's a lot of weird things that you can do.
Wait, one more quick deck.
Yes.
You can cube
whatever.
on the vent to be invulnerable.
Oh yes, that is also very useful. Viscous is
Oh,
the
so
only
you get
character in the
hyperline.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Viscous is the only character in the game that can ignore the feature of being hyperlined at vents by having cube.
Oh, that's really useful, actually. Yeah.
Now, there's some other things about cube that have to do with that as well as a short thing. Never cube in front of a Shiv. That Shiv is gonna dump knives into you, and the second you get out of that cube, they're not gonna be cleansed because that's not how cube works. Cube only in cubes, or only gets rid of the debuffs that are on you for when cube is activated, not for after the fact. So if you're in cube and you get hit with a Shiv knife or a sleep or a Shiv sleep or whatever other debuff in the game applies to you, it just works. It's not getting cleansed. So if you get decayed after your cube is activated, that decay is going to ruin all your healing in cube, and it's not going to get rid of it because that's just how it works. So there's some really bad scenarios where you just don't want to get, don't cube in front of a haze because she could just sleep you and then you're screwed.
Don't cube in front of a bebop.
Well, yeah. Can Eternus build his afterburn on you or no?
He can't.
He cannot.
No.
It only applies to
Like abilities.
To
Or not on
abilities,
it?
yes.
Okay.
It's
Can I
weird
do that?
because cube is a solid surface, kind of. It works like a solid surface in like weird scenario. Let's say you cube somebody, which let me just spawn in a teammate. You cube somebody and you're like, I would really like to use my teammate as a wall now. You can do that.
Do you ever
Cube acts as a solid surface that you can punch off of.
What the hell?
you ever use the momentum from your teammate to puddle punch the cube towards you off of the cube? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, which you can do. I think the more common scenario I've had is a teammate is running towards me. I will cube them, and they have the momentum from already going in that direction, and cube maintains that. And then you place a punch on the cube, and then like they're still moving forward towards you, but the puddle punch just is like wherever you placed it. So it'll usually end up behind them. So they'll get punched by the puddle punch you placed on the cube because they're still moving in your direction, but the puddle punch isn't.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It can also
There's some
be
weird
pretty
things to that.
annoying because
Normally, you want to try and cube somebody right before they die. Like you're trying to be at like his, it is like the cube healing that you're giving them is like the last sliver of their HP bar. That's what you want. You want that to be like the tiniest bit of their HP left, so that you're drawing the most aggro to them before they die. Because like you'll know, if one person gets really low, then everybody's gonna be like, kill that one guy, and then the guy gets cubed and he has like half his HP back because you rescue beamed him and you cubed him.
Which I was gonna say that, or to prevent damage, like to stop a high damage ability.
Yes, that too. Obviously, if somebody's in a dynamo, I'll cube them.
Yeah.
one kill.
There's some obvious situations where it's like cubing somebody is useful, but that's kind of why max cube is as good as it is. You 25 seconds off a 42-second cooldown is insane for how much that does for you. It's more than a 50% decrease in the cooldown, which is like, it's one of the best tier 3s in the entire game. For an ability.
I guess. Do you remember?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was kind of. I feel like I covered most things that I could think of just off the top of my head. It's a lot of information, and obviously all of this is like, do you remember to use it? So,
Another
obviously, I'm Bullet was streaming all of this, so it's all gonna be on a VOD.
Yeah.
Goat.
Do you
So-
have a YouTube channel, Liz?
I do not.
Okay, would you mind if I posted this to my channel at all, or?
I don't. Sure, I don't really care. It doesn't
Okay.
matter to me.
I hope you've enjoyed learning everything about Viscous. If you have more questions, you can ask them in my stream. I'll do my best to answer every question. We didn't talk a lot about macro decisions, so I'll probably end up talking about some of that on stream. There are some more Viscous texts that we discussed, but I wanted to keep this video short. So if you want to see that, I uploaded a part 2 to this that you can watch whenever you want. But if I did this right, it should pop up as a title card now. Alright, bye.